Hi, this is the Cat's Library. I'll be your librarian today. The video I was working on for this week has 10 hours of video footage and is close to done when it comes to drawing, but I haven't started on the script yet, and it will be a few days before it's ready. In other news, I did figure out how to come back to my Cat's Library original story, which is also known as The Dragon Planet. That means it's by rewriting the story entirely, since I was making it up as I went along, and it is very much a first draft. Instead of just diving into the second draft, I'm going to make some vlog-style videos where I explain the process of writing instead of just the outcome. If you don't want to be spoiled for the second draft, you can come back to this later. This video will specifically be a summary of the Dragon Planet story, which you can find in a playlist on my channel. Engage! Okay, so hi. This is my first time doing a video sort of thing. I've done like a live audio on this channel before in the Dragon guy redesign video. That was Snorri and like Ryan. I don't remember exactly what I called the video, but I'll have it up on screen. And I'm gonna keep putting up the thumbnails for different videos that I'm talking about on screen, like somewhere, so that you'll know what I'm talking about and can find the video with ease if you want it. So let's see. Hopefully the screen is recording, because I can see myself and I can see myself talking, but I can't see like what is showing up on the screen. So let's see if that works. So the first video that I had in the Cat's Library / Dragon Planet series was the Cat's Library intro screen. I'm not the fastest typer, but we'll see. Okay, so in this one is about Felix Catton and setting up the mystery about why he's missing, and the whole thing about that. It's literally just that he's rich and missing and has a butler named Halibut. I might cut out all of this stuff of me typing and just sitting there in silence, or like speed it up later on to make this quicker. Alright, so that was it. Like, I just had this idea for like this like really short story, so I just put it in and like, okay, that's my intro screen. But then like as soon as I took the intro screen down, then my views I started getting longer watch time, so people were probably like just watching it and go like, ow, intro, and got scared and turned it off because they didn't understand what it was, I guess. So the intro didn't really work, but it was just supposed to be like this cute short story. I had like this flash of inspiration, and I'm like, let's go for it. And then people like that I know who watch my videos, because I don't think that I have that many people who I don't know who like contact me and say, oh, I watch your videos. It's mostly people I know. So the people I know were like, oh, that's a great story, like what's more of it? And originally what I wanted for that story was that the librarian was going to be me, and I would be doing like a whole bunch of random videos that had a whole bunch of different topics, and like this is the stuff that the librarian is reading to the cat, and that was supposed to be the framing device, but then I made it into a actual big story. So one of the things I'm gonna take out for the second draft is no more librarian, because I don't want a self-intro character anymore. Or if I do have like a character who's coming in and investigating, like not necessarily the same librarian, but like a different one that's not supposed to be me. And I want her to have more relevance, not me. I'm gonna put this in quotation marks because it's not necessarily that there is no librarian. It's that the librarian has more relevance and is not me. And so that's what I meant by that. And so that's what I wanted to do. Like, for that story, actually, like, I don't really have any more notes besides that, because I got it. Like, that one, I just hit it out of the park the first time. It's just like all of the other ones that I want to change more. And so, if I remember correctly, which I think I do, like, after that, I wanted to do Smoggest, and to do Smoggest, I wanted to have a cast of characters. So I had the lineup. I do not remember what I named all of these, but I'm pretty sure that the character lineup is on it. The thumbnail is around somewhere, so, and you can find it if you want. So this one is the one that I had that had a little bit more lore to it. And so I had Dahlia and Ari, which are supposed to be Felix Catton from the last video's maternal grandparents. So they're the Zlatniks. And basically all I wanted was for Felix to have grandparents who were like from the old country. Alright, so I just wanted them to be throwaway characters, more or less, and have the whole focus of all of the dragon videos be on the dragons, and then the researchers were supposed to be just coming in and say, oh yeah, they're the ones who are documenting it, because I still was trying to hold on to my original idea and not just have it a story, but I sort of got a little bit carried away with the actual story bit. And that's what people actually wanted. They actually wanted the story bit. They didn't want me to just explain dragons for 20 minutes. And so I had to make the characters more of the focus. And since the characters were more the focus, then, I don't know, it just seems weird that I'm not really talking about, like, their past and, like, how they, how being Polish in the 1980s to 1970s impacted them. So I'm gonna take out, like, time period and country. I'm gonna have it so that it's not, it's like, it's gonna be in the past compared to where Felix is, but it's, like, not specified that Felix is in 2022, or, like, yeah, it's 2023, actually, when I started doing this. So Felix isn't in 2023, and these guys, Dahlia and Ari and, like, Mike and all of the others, they're not in the 70s specifically. Like, they could be in any time period. It's just, like, generically around the time of the 20th century where they are, and then Felix is generically around the time of the 21st century, but maybe I'll throw in, like, a whole bunch of random technology that makes that a little bit more muddled, so that Dahlia and Ari could technically be from the late 21st century, and that Felix is from the 22nd century, and then, like, just more ambiguous. More ambiguous. But I still want the old country sort of thing, where it's like his parents are immigrants. But technically, I sort of wanted that because I was always thinking that that Dahlia and Ari stayed on the dragon planet at the end of it. So, since Dahlia and Ari were on the dragon planet at the end of it, it's like they're from the old country, means that they're on the dragon planet. So that was the code. So that's why that's sort of important. But yeah, I basically just went over their backstories in this one. And I don't know why I started with the characters instead of the, like, all of the organization stuff. We can get into the organization stuff now. Alright, so we have the Code Breakers, who are the humans. And then we have the Star Searchers, who are the aliens. And those were the two organizations. And the Code Breakers are what all of the protagonists are from. And there were a whole bunch of stuff that was like how they got there. And so Ari joined in college. He joined the Code Breakers in college. Mary Angela slash Glassman. I never came up with an official name that I liked for the Glassman character. Like, I knew that she was like a Glassman, but the problem is I kept thinking of all of these big flowery sort of fortune teller sort of names, because she's sort of based off of a crystal ball. She has a crystal ball for a head. She can tell the future, she can tell the past and sort of thing, and divine fate or whatever, I guess, because she knows everything. But she's also sort of just basically has the internet like hooked up into her head. Sort of is the way that I sort of envisioned it. It's like she can just like stream stuff, like she's always streaming movies and things in her head, and like she sees anything that she asks a question of. So it's sort of like the internet, but a little bit better, and it's just in her head and like everywhere all the time, so she could just ask questions. And then that was the whole gimmick of the character. And so I wanted her to have a big flowery fortune teller name, but then I said, oh yeah, she doesn't talk. So I went like, oh yeah, if she doesn't talk, she uses sign language. And people who use, people who use sign language tend to have like nicknames or really short names, because they would have a name sign, or they would like have to spell the name out. And if you're spelling the name out, then that would take a long time to get that many letters into a name. So they'd probably have a shorter like nickname. So, I don't know, like, that's why I kept changing the name, like, that was the real reason. But it sort of did fit the character, that she would be, like, she's a cult leader. She ran a cult, originally, because I sort of thought that that would be funny. Because, like, they have all of this supernatural stuff under wraps, the Codebreakers do. So if she was caught, basically, part of it is because she's a supernatural creature and there's a prejudice, but yeah, the stated reason is that she's a cultist. But there is a prejudice. I kept sort of hinting that the director is a character that I did not decide on beforehand. I just went like, oh, this is a cool idea for a character, and then I put it in, but I didn't put any thought into her. So she is not the director in like the, I don't know what it would be called, the first mission time frame. So when she goes and recruits Ari in the original, she's not the director. But then when she goes and she helps Felix at the, this is all out of order. You sort of probably should go through the playlist before you watch this, but yeah, well, when she goes and she helps rescue Felix, then she is the director at that time, but she is sort of more of a higher up when she recruits Ari. And she, like, has a whole bunch of glass beads, and the glass beads were supposed to be that she'd melted down Glassman and was wearing them, and, like, that was in the sunglasses and stuff, so then she could ask them questions, and then they'd have to tell her. You know what? Scratch that. They don't get hurt by fire at all. It's like water that they get hurt by, because there's no really erosion of the glass when they get melted down and reshaped. It's just that they can't move, which they need people, or they need like other glassmen to mold them into something that can move anyway. But it's just sort of a little bit frustrating for them, but I don't think that they're actually in pain. I don't think that would fit the tone of the story. But that's part of what it is that she doesn't like glassmen as much. It's like, well, she doesn't like them, but she finds them useful. And so that's one of the reasons why Dahlia is sort of on the run. Not Dahlia. Glassman is on the run. And so the Glassman's on the run and trying to hide from all of the secret organizations and from the humans, because the humans are also bad. And that's why she started the cult, I think. Because it's like she's a supernatural being, and if she starts a cult, then like they're not going to tell anyone because they think that she can give them stuff, because like she can't fake it, and that's what it is. And so then that's how, you know what, I'm gonna do this and tab, and Mike gets his own line. Mike. And Mike is someone who is indoctrinated into the cult. And he got indoctrinated into the cult because he found this special, like he calls it a baseball bat, but it's not a baseball bat. And the baseball bat has hypnotic qualities so that he can control other people. And I think that maybe he was actually the one that like took over the cult. Like Mariangela like had like a few people who would come every once in a while, but then when Mike was there, then Mike could hypnotize people. So he's a hypnotist. That was his whole thing, is that he's the communication specialist. That's the whole thing. With Ari is the botanist. He's the scientist. Maybe a little bit of a biologist, because biology and botany are sort of, I don't really know that much about science, but I think that they're like related. Like they're more in line than like maybe botany and like chemistry, I guess. Actually, pretty much all sciences sort of blend into each other, but botany and biology both deal with animal cells, I guess. So that's why I think that they would be very similar to each other, but I think that he's a little bit more of a botanist than a biologist, if that makes sense. But he's the one who wants to study everything. And Dahlia isn't on here yet. Dahlia should be right here. So Dahlia. Yeah, I need to give Dahlia, she needs a thing to do, I guess, because she's not really a specialist at anything. Like Mike is the interspecies communications officer, like convincing people to do things sort of thing, but Dahlia was supposed to be more of the heart of the team, so she's like a different type of communication, but it sort of overlaps with Mike. And the whole thing about Dahlia is that her fatal flaw is that she's selfish. And it's that she acts all nice, but when it comes down to it, then she ultimately makes selfish decisions, and she doesn't even think of them as selfish. Like, she'll get into a fight with her parents and then just leave in the middle of the night, and she thinks that that's for the best for everyone, but it's like ultimately because like she doesn't feel comfortable, because she doesn't want to have a fight with them anymore. So like, in order to get out of more conflict, then she administers something that's going to hurt them even more than just hurting their feelings and saying that she wants to be a different religion than her parents. Like, she hurts them more by doing that. And so she's ultimately sort of a nice person, but she's very selfish. And then that's her fatal flaw that she has in there. But that's a spoiler. I'm doing this all out of order for what the videos were, so I don't even need these anymore. But yeah, that was, I wasn't sure whether to say that or put it on. She's also Jewish. I said that her parents were Jewish and she's like culturally Jewish, and I wanted her to be a Messianic Jew. I thought it would be neat, I guess, and then I didn't really do any studying into it and didn't put that much effort into making it make sense. And so I'm like, oh yeah, what would they have? They'd have smoked bacon because they're just going on there. And I didn't have Dahlia eat the bacon, but I had Ari making it. So I wanted Ari to also be a Messianic Jew, and then that fell flat on his face. So I need to put more effort into the Judaism and like making sure that all of their cultures make sense. Ari, like, I don't know, like if I'm making him different than her, and like she's a Messianic Jew and then he's like a European, then I don't know. Like, maybe they're different denominations than each other. Or maybe he's only a Messianic Jew on Christmas and Easter, but like other times of the year, then he's a little different denomination. Yes. I don't know. He gives Catholic vibes. I'm gonna put him down as Catholic right now, because I didn't say anything about what specifically what his relationship was like religiously, but yeah, I'm gonna say that he might be Catholic, and we will see. Like that would be one more thing that I'd have to study up on, because I don't know that much about Messianic Jews, and I don't really know that much about Catholics, because I'm non-denominational, so I don't know about either of these, but I wanted to like look it up because I'm sort of interested in this right now. So yeah, we'll see. And I think Mary Angela is sort of a... I don't know what she is. She's like an agnostic. And if you go down here, the other one, Alani, she is an atheist. And she had... I don't know why I gave her the best backstory. Like, everyone else, their backstories are a little bit, like, sort of basic. Except maybe Mary Angela, but I don't know about Mary Angela. What her backstory was before she started the cult. So that might be an interesting thing to talk about. Okay, so I sort of... Yeah, I jump around a lot. So now I'm thinking that with the director, like, I am talking a little bit out of what I said I was going to talk about. I was going to summarize what the original story was. But I wanted the Codebreakers to be a bit evil, actually. So, like, for the second draft, I want, like, the joining of the team to be different. Because Ari joined the team, like, in college, when he started finding out stuff about plants. Mary Angela joined because she got captured. Mike joined because he was chasing Mary Angela. And I said that they were dating, but I might take that out. The whole thing about that is because I wasn't sure why else he'd be loyal to her, so I just gave the laziest motivation, but then that just felt weird because they're different types of being. Like, she is literally made of glass, that she is a hypochondriac. But yeah, she's scared of being touched in general because she doesn't want to break. And Mike is a human with very human needs when it comes to relationships. And so that it just wouldn't work out that well. Yeah, Alani's backstory. Okay, so Alani's backstory was complicated, and I changed it at the last minute because I was gonna have her boyfriend, who I didn't decide on a name for until later in the process, but his name is Kepler, and he gets a tab because he's a minor character. And Kepler was going to be evil. I had every intention of making him evil at the beginning, and then I chickened out and didn't have him be evil. But that was going to be the whole thing, is that he was evil, and then Alani went to live with him anyway at the very end of the story. And I couldn't do that. Couldn't go through with it. Because, like, I was trying to make him, like, straddle that line with being, like, the sympathetic, oh yeah, he made sense, he's falling from grace, and also I forgot to put in the evil part because I just fell in love with the persona that what he was supposed to be, and then it was supposed to be that, oh, there's the persona and this is what everyone saw him as, but he was actually evil the whole time, sort of thing. And yeah, I fell too much in love with the persona that I couldn't actually put in the evil part, and I wanted for my peace of mind, I wanted Alani to be okay at the end. So he became not evil. And I am not sure if that's the right decision because I changed my mind at the last minute and had to make someone else evil. And then there's not really a good villain for this. And Alani, I want her to be actually weird. Like, I said that she's weird, but I didn't actually show her being weird anywhere in the story. So the original recording for this video got out of hand. It got to 55 minutes, and so I cut it into 2 parts. Part 2 will probably come out in a few days when I get the editing done. I also have a good start on a video where I draw 20 characters from 5 base colors, which will also probably come out soon. I have decided on a frog for my F animal in my Alphabetical Animals series, and after that I am planning on redesigning Beauty and the Beast. Like, subscribe, comment, and share this video. Goodbye!